It's time for another WMSC featured movie. Academy Award-winning visionary Jordan Peele returns with another original nightmare that he has written, directed, and produced. Set in present day along the iconic Northern California coastline, Us stars Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o as Adelaide Wilson, a woman returning to her beachside childhood home with her husband and their 2 children. However, 4 masked strangers descend upon the house, forcing the Wilsons into a fight for survival. But when the masks come off, each stranger takes the appearance of a different family member. We sat down with writer, director, and producer Jordan Peele to talk about his inspirations and ideas behind the film.
The idea for this movie came from a deep-seated fear in doppelgangers. And I love the doppelganger mythologies and different movies that have dealt with them. And I just desperately wanted to make my offering to that sort of pantheon of evil double films. I think what really made it come together for me, that brought this idea together for me, was this idea that we are our own worst enemy, which is something I feel like we know intrinsically, but it is a truth that we tend to bury. We tend to blame the outsider and blame the other. When in this movie, the monster has our faces. I think the reason doppelgangers have always been a source of fear for people is there's something just primal and unnatural feeling about seeing yourself. I think it is connected to this idea that in that one moment when you would have an encounter like that, you get a sense of your own mortality. It's almost like one of you has to go, right? And you sort of know that in your bones. Throughout mythology, doppelgangers are often represent bad omens or a foreshadowing of one's death. So I just wanted to sort of pinpoint and work off of that just extremely primal fear. Horror has always been the way that I personally deal with my own fears. I love the genre for that reason, and I love the horror aesthetic for that reason. I think great horror is often grounded, which is the way I love to do comedy as well, is to allow something crazy to be going on, but as best as possible, you try to marry it with reality. And yeah, I don't see myself moving far from horror anytime soon.
Us is rated R.